Welcome children, take out your civics book, chapter 2, the Union Executive. Today's topic, Judicial Power. The President can grant pardon for the punishment passed by any court in the following cases. Now President, what can it do? It can grant some pardon. Pardon for what? For the punishment which are passed by any court in the following cases. First, in case of capital punishment, if punishment is given by court martial, Now, in which case president can get pardon? That is, if the punishment is capital punishment, then if punishment is given by the court martial. If it is an offence against the union and if it is against a crime that is against the union law, the president can seek advice from the Supreme Court on any question of law, but is not compelled to follow the same. Now, President what can do? President has the power that President can take the advice of the Supreme Court on any questions of law, but the President is not forced to follow the same. Acceptance of the advice given by the Supreme Court is her discretion. Now, if to accept this advice which is given by the Supreme Court, it is his or her discretion. Emergency power. President can execute three kinds of emergency power. Now, President can execute three kinds of emergency power. That is, number one, that is under Article 352. National emergency due to external aggression, outbreak of armed rebellion, or in case of a war. Now, what? That is under Article 352. That is national emergency. That means it is meant for the entire country, due to any external aggression, or if there is an outbreak of armed rebellion, or in case of war. Under Article 356, constitutional emergency caused by breakdown of the constitutional machinery in a country. Now, under Article 356, what happens? That is the constitutional emergency. If it is it caused by the breakdown of constitutional machinery in a state. Under Article 360, financial emergency caused by threat to the financial stability of the. Now, under Article 350, what happened? That is the under Article 360. What does it mean? It means the financial emergency. Now, financial emergency if it is caused by the threat of financial stability of the country. Now, discretionary power. The President plays an important role in parliamentary system of India. Now, President, what it does? It plays a very crucial role, that is important role in the parliamentary form of government. That is, when a condition of parties stake their claim to form the government. Now, what happens? When a coalition of parties, that means many parties together, what they do? They stake their claim to form the government. The President then uses his discretionary and judgment to select a leader to lead the nation as the Prime Minister and provide national stability. At that time, what happened? When many parties together, what they do? They stake their claim that they want to form the government. At that time, President, what happened? President uses his or her discretionary power and then gives the judgment that the President gives the judgment to select a leader to lead the nation as the Prime Minister and then provide national stability. Limitation of the President. The powers of the President are limited. He she can exercise power only after discussing it with the real executive, the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. Now, powers of the President. That means President has very limited power. That means the President can exercise power only after discussing this real executive, that is the Prime Minister and even the Council of Ministers. The emergency powers are subject to the approval of the Parliament, which has to be obtained within a month. Now, emergency powers, what happen? They are subject to the approval of the Parliament, and they can obtain within a month. After the proclamation of emergency, if the Parliament doesn't approve of the declaration of emergency, it ceases to operate. Now, what happens if the Parliament, after the proclamation of emergency, what happens? If the Parliament doesn't approve this declaration of emergency, what happens? It stops to operate. Now, Vice President. The Vice President of India is also the ex officio chairman of the Rajya. Now, Vice President is the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. Term of office. The Vice President is elected for a tenure of 5 years. She can continue in the office till the next elected members can take charge. Now Vice President, what is Vice President? Vice President is elected for a period of 5 years and the Vice President remains in the office till the next elected members takes the charge. Powers and function. As the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha, she regulates the proceedings of the House. Now Vice President. Vice President is what? He is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha and so Vice President regulates the proceedings of the House. Now she decides upon the resolution to be passed to the Rajya Sabha. Now the Vice President, what he does? The Vice President decides upon the resolution which is to be passed in the Rajya Sabha. She receives foreign delegates. Even the Vice President receives the foreign delegates. She takes over the acting president in the following. Now the Vice President takes over the acting president in the following case. Death of the president. Now in case of death of president, what happens? Vice President takes the charge of the president. Resignation or removal of the president. In case the president resigns or the president is removed, at that time Vice President takes the charge of the president. In case of illness or absence of the president in the office to discharge the order. Now, in case if the president is ill or the president is absent in the office, at that time the Vice President takes the charge of the president. When the Vice President presides over the president office, her position gets dignified but not stronger. Now, when the Vice President, what happens? Presides over this president office, what happens? The Vice President position, what happens? They get dignified but not get stronger. Now, Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is the leader of the majority party of coalition in the Lok Sabha. Prime Minister is what? Prime Minister is the leader of the majority party or the coalition that is in the Lok Sabha. Since India follows a parliamentary form of government, the Prime Minister is the head of the government. Now, India, what happened? India follows a parliamentary form of government and Prime Minister is what? Prime Minister is the head of the government. The President is only the nominal head and acts on the advice of the Prime. President is what? President is the nominal head and then acts on the advice of the Prime Minister. Powers and functions of the Prime Minister. What are the powers and functions of the Prime Minister? Relation with the President. The President is the link between the Cabinet and the President. Now, President is what? President is the link that is between the Cabinet and the President. The decisions of the Cabinet, national or foreign matters are all conveyed to the President by the Prime Minister. Now, decisions of this Cabinet, that is the national or the foreign matters, what happen? They are also to the President by the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister has the power to advise the President on matters like summoning or discontinuing the session of the Parliament and if needed, to dissolve the Lok Sabha and also give advice on the appointment and dismissal of the high official. Now, President, what happens? President even has the power to give advice to the President on the matter that is like to summon or discontinue the session of the Parliament and if needed, they can dissolve the Lok Sabha and also give advice on the appointment of the dismissal to high official. Now, relations with the Cabinet. The Prime Minister forms the Council of Ministers, decides on the categories of the minister and their portfolio. The Prime Minister, what happens? Prime Minister forms the Council of Ministers and then decides the categories of the minister and even their portfolio. The Prime Minister's decision is final in this case. Now, in this case, what happened? Prime Minister's decision is only the final decision. There are three categories of minister. Cabinet Minister, Ministers of State with independent charge and Assistant Cabinet Ministers or Deputy Minister. Now, three categories of ministers are there. That is the Cabinet Minister, Ministers of State with independent charge and Assistant Cabinet Minister or Deputy Minister. The Prime Minister can dismiss a minister from the Cabinet by asking her to resign. The portfolios can be reallocated. Now, Prime Minister even has the power the Prime Minister even has the power to dismiss a minister from the Cabinet by asking him or her to resign. Then the portfolios can then be reallocated. The Cabinet comprises a core group of ministers and is headed by the Prime. Now, Cabinet, what does it comprise of? It consists of a core group of ministers and then it is headed by Prime Minister. The Cabinet takes the decision on the account of. Now, Cabinet, what happened? Cabinet also takes the decision on account of the Council of Ministers. Now, relations with the Parliament. The Prime Minister leads the Lok Sabha and is the chief spokesman of the government of the Lok Sabha. Now, Prime Minister, what happened? Prime Minister leads the Lok Sabha and even the chief spokesman of the government of the Lok Sabha. The important proclamation of the government are forwarded by the Prime Minister on the floor of the House. Now, the important proclamations of this government, how they are forwarded? They are forwarded by the Prime Minister on the floor of the House. Role of the foreign affairs. The Prime Minister represents India in international forum and now Prime Minister, what happens? Prime Minister represents India, that is in international forums and even conferences. She plans and designs foreign policies for India. Now the Prime Minister even plans and designs foreign policies for India. She puts forward India's opinion and suggestion on Indian and world issues before world leaders. Now the Prime Minister, what happened? Put forward that India's opinions and even suggests the Indian and world issues before the world leaders. She visits the countries to improve India's relation with others and solve issues related to the welfare of them. Now the Prime Minister, what he can do? Visits the countries so that he could improve the India's relation with other countries and even solve the issues which are related to the welfare of the country. She attends the meetings and conferences held by UN, SAARC and Commonwealth nations and non-aligned nations as the representative of the country. Now, Prime Minister also attends the meetings and even the conferences which are held by the UN, SAARC, the Commonwealth nations and even the non-aligned nation as the representative of the country. Now, permanent executive, the Prime Minister, the President, the Vice President, the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers form the political executive. Now, who forms the political executive? That is the President, Vice President, Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers all together form the political executive. They are executed who are elected by the people and hold office for a certain period. Now, these people, means this political executive, they are the executive and they are elected by the people and they can hold the office for a certain period of time. The political executives are guided by and assisted by the permanent executive, also known as the civil servant. Now, this political executive, they are guided and even they are helped by the permanent executives who are known as the civil servants. They are the government employees. Now, these civil servants, what are they? They are the government employees. They do not belong to any political party, but this civil servant, they do not belong to any political party. They are selected on the basis of performance of the Union Public Service Commission examination. How these civil servants are elected? They are selected on the basis of the performance of the Union Public Service Commission examination. They can belong to the Indian Administrative Services, the Indian Foreign Services or the Indian Police Services. Now, what they belong to? This civil servant, they belong to different administrative services, that is the Indian Foreign Services or the Indian Police Services. Now, take out your diary, write Chapter 2, the Union Executive, topic Judicial Powers, explain, homework, revise it. And with this, I am ending my today's class. Goodbye.